Hello besties, welcome to today's video. I hope you're all having a great day. So far I've started off my morning pretty great, but I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into the video because I feel like I have quite a bit to say. Today's video is about how to create a routine or how to find a routine that works for you and how to stick to that routine. In order for you to succeed in anything, it all starts with having a routine that works for you. So, with New Year's just starting, a lot of us, we set these goals, these lists, these manifestations, these resolutions, and we want to achieve them before the year ends. But a lot of the times we end up getting to the end of the year and we're like, I didn't even do any of the stuff that I wanted to do. And it happens. It's pretty normal. But I think where we go wrong is that we don't focus on the simple everyday task. And so that's why the title of today's video is called The Power of Simplicity. Because I think simple tasks, small little tasks, little good habits lead you to be successful in any goals that you set for yourself. So something I've recently been doing is working on a good morning routine and a good night routine that works for me, that's going to help me be successful in waking up at 5 a.m. and being able to get all of the things done that I want to get done in the day. That's why I've started doing the slow mornings, because I'm doing all of the things that I want to do for myself, but I'm taking away that responsibility or that feeling of having to do everything all at once. And so it just makes everything much more enjoyable. So a couple of the things that I've started doing in the mornings is I'm waking up at 5 a.m. This is something I've been working on this entire week. I woke up at 5 today. I've been doing much better. So actually what I do is I set my alarm for 5 a.m. and then I let myself snooze until 5:15. My time is going to be very crucial in the morning. And so I'm working towards getting rid of those 15 minutes. But for now, I've been taking this entire week to just slowly transition from 7 a.m. to 5 a.m. This is something I was already doing last year, where I was using the LED lights to wake me up. But this year I saw on my app that there's a little schedule thing down here. And so I've set it up so that it turns on every single day except for Saturdays, because Saturdays are the days where it's my rest days. Point is, there's a schedule and these lights automatically turn on without me having to wake up, reach for my phone, and turn the lights on, which is so much more helpful. And today I've actually started my day by editing. So last night I finished everything. Literally this video is pretty much done, but a part of my editing routine is reviewing the video so that I can see if I need to make any last minute edits. Just kind of like how on Friday's video I review the podcast and I have any notes so that Nyla can make edits. I basically do the same for myself. I will review my video, take any notes that I may have missed as I was editing, and then I go back and I make the edits. So that's what I'm currently doing here, which means I'm not really going to be able to do my morning routine. And this is just kind of showing you guys how not every single day is the same. Even if you have a routine where you're trying to create habits and wake up, journal, meditate, read, it doesn't always happen. It's a good system to have, and it's what helps me incorporate that slow morning so that I don't hate waking up in the morning. This is my me time. It's something I'm enjoying. But today I have to edit, and that is totally okay. When it comes to picking tasks that are actually going to work for you, you have to ask yourself, why do I want to do this and what do I gain from this? So for example, me personally, journaling is something I've always wanted to do. Every time I've ever journaled, I feel like I end up having a clearer mind. I understand myself better. Another thing is reading, right? Just because everyone reads before bed, just because everyone else wakes up and reads, just because everyone else reads, doesn't mean you have to enjoy reading. Find the things that you enjoy. Update, it is now 6:04, so everything is finished. Time for me to start getting changed into my workout gear, but also I want to take my pre-workout, and I could use that time with my pre-workout to finish my next chapter. Because what I've been doing and what's been working for me, I will read one chapter a day, and I'll read half of that chapter at night, and then I'll read the second half of that chapter in the morning. And I'm still reading my chapter a day, basically, just split, so that I'm not forcing myself to finish this chapter before I can even go to bed. I'm just reading as much as I can. Whatever's left, I'll finish it in the morning. Don't force yourself to do too much of it. Just do a little bit here and there. Feel things out. How are you feeling? Don't make yourself hate something just because you feel like you have to do it. You don't have to do anything. do what you feel like doing. Okay, so my video is uploading and I was just reading the second half of chapter 4, I believe. Yes, chapter 4. What I love most about self-help books is that they're not necessarily telling you anything new. They're just saying the things you already know, but they're putting it in a way that just sparks something in you. And literally, I was just talking about this like 5 seconds ago, but just listen to what he said. The more automatic a behavior becomes, the less likely we are to consciously think about it. And when we've done something 1,000 times before, we begin to overlook things. We assume that the next time will be just like the last. We're so used to doing what we've always done that we don't stop to question whether it's the right thing to do at all. Many of our failures in performance are largely attributable to a lack of self-awareness. I literally just said, do what feels right to you, right? Like, you already have a routine set in stone that you're so used to doing, but it doesn't mean you always have to do the same thing. Pay attention to how you're feeling that day, and if you don't necessarily want to do something, you don't have to do it. You do obviously want to stay consistent with something, but I think there's a very fine line. So in Friday's video, I talked about how, like, with journaling, if I skip just one day of journaling, I end up forgetting about it, and then I don't touch my journal again for like a couple of weeks later, a couple of days later, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to do that. But the difference here is that I'm making myself write just something. So I'm staying consistent with writing. That's why I started doing the thought of the day, basically, like just writing down something random so that I stay in the habit of journaling, but I'm taking away that annoyance of having to write an entire page. So I think that that's kind of where that goes, where I'm like feeling out how I feel that day. Oh, I don't want to write a whole journal entry. Okay, just write down literally the most random thought. That's it. Close the journal, walk away. And here's the thing, just because you enjoy something or you want to enjoy something doesn't mean you're always going to enjoy it. Some days you're just not going to want to do it. You're not going to want to pick it up. And so this is why I think that there's such a fine line when it comes to this statement, because if you want to pick something up, but you're only ever focused on, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, then you're never going to do it. But if you tell yourself, this is something I want to do, but I'm not necessarily in the mood to do it, let me do a little bit of it so that I'm not forcing myself to do too much of it and then end up hating it because I'm overdoing it. Let me just do a little bit so I can stay consistent with this habit that I want to create. Because I mean, when I started working out, I didn't want to work out, but I knew it was something I had to do. There were days where I literally did not want to get up. There are days now when I don't want to get up. But if I make myself get up and work out, even if it's just a 10-minute workout, a 30-minute workout, whatever it is, the fact is I did it on that day when I didn't want to do it, and that's what builds my consistency. I'm not forcing myself to do too much of something that I end up hating it, but I'm making myself get up on those days when I don't want to do it. See, it's just, this statement kind of sounds very contradicting, but that's why I'm saying that there's such a fine line with that statement. That's why I also say just focus on how you're feeling that day. Pay attention to yourself, because at the end of the day, like, you know yourself best. And if you really don't want to do something, don't make yourself do it. But if you know it's just you maybe falling back into old habits or feeling lazy, and that's why you don't want to do it, make yourself do it. Because otherwise, you're never going to actually build the consistency. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this breakfast. I'm so excited. It looks good. Also, I want to make coffee, but the Dalgona coffee. You guys remember from like 2020, it was like really popular. I tried making it recently and it was a hassle because it wasn't foaming up like it's supposed to. Now that Brenda gave me the frother for Christmas, I can make it. So it's honestly really easy, and you gotta put equal parts. So 2 tablespoons of coffee. And this is totally up to you to do whatever measurements you want, but you just want to make sure you do equal parts of both. So 2 of sugar, 2 of water. That splashed all over my face. I wasn't recording. I didn't get to show you guys my dalgona coffee before I mixed it all and added ice. That's so sad. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my breakfast now. It's basically kind of like chilaquiles, except it's not really like chilaquiles. I'm gonna add some salsa though. I put too much on that side. I'll just dip. This is literally like those breakfast tostadas that I made with just the eggs and the beans, except in cubed form. That's delicious. Actually, let's try this. Wait, that's actually the best one I've made so far. I think maybe in the other ones that I was making, I was putting too much milk. That's good. Checking in, I've basically just been doing a lot of rough cutting here, working on this video so that way I don't have too much to do at the same time. But we are about to head out and go to the store. I need to get a lunch bag because another goal that I set for myself was to, well, actually 2 reasons. One, save money, and can't really save much money if I plan to, you know, buy myself a lot of lunches. So I want to get a lunch bag for that reason, but also because I made a goal to cook more and eat more home cooked meals. So I am in need of a lunch bag because I don't have one, and I need one in order to take lunches with me to work. So we're gonna go and try to find one. Hopefully we can find one that's like cute and functional. There's so many options that I can pick from. How will I ever choose? Loki might be into that one. It's a little funky, but I think it's a little fresh too. Okay, so this one might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's kind of cute. I like weird, so this is also says for women by women. We support. I just realized something even more amazing. It has containers inside for sandwiches, which is what I plan to take my first day. So this is literally perfect. It was meant to be. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna grab some of these for lunchtime. These are my ultimate favorite to-go snack. I like a healthier option. So I'm gonna grab some of these. I also love these. These are so good. Why are you looking at it? Are you jealous?
Are you jealous?
Are you jealous?
I think you're jealous.
No, I think you're jealous. Okay, a couple of things. I just finished watching season 2 of You. Before we get into it, just ignore these patches. They're supposed to like help clear pores and stuff like that. Something about the T-zone. I don't know. But anyways, let's talk about You. Season 2, man, it's kind of insane. I did not think that Joe could be out crazied, but I think it's possible. Second thing about You is I wish the universe could work in my favor like it does for Joe. And third, I did not see that ending coming. I'm really sad about that ending. I don't want to share it too much just in case anyone hasn't seen it. I didn't see it coming. That's it. If you know, you know. I actually started out liking Love. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not. I don't know how everyone else felt about Love at the beginning. I thought she was a pretty cool character. I did think she was a little crazy, but I thought it was like regular crazy. I didn't think it was like Joe crazy, you know? There's just some people who are a little bit more out there, and I thought that's what she was, and so I liked her. She was pretty cool, but then towards the end of the season we saw a different side of her, and I don't know how to feel about her now. But I guess like attracts like, basically. Yeah, that season 2, man, it was insane. But you know how like in season 1 I talked about the blinds and the curtains? Like, I know that they're set up because it's a plot in the show, you know, he can see her from the street, and if she had curtains he wouldn't be able to see her, basically. But in season 2, why did no one call 911 before they went to go and like do things? This was like, I was about to start on season 3, but it is now time for me to start getting ready to go to bed. It's currently 9:43, and that means I am going to do all of my little nighttime routine tasks that I have been doing. I actually already did my skincare, which is why I have those patches that we're ignoring. But the reason why I wanted to talk about my night routine, even though I've shown you guys the last two videos, like what my routines are. My last two videos and this video included kind of go all together. So the first video of the year that I showed you guys was me basically telling you guys what my new habits that I was creating, what my routine was going to be like. The second video was basically me showing you guys me being consistent and why it's important to be consistent. And then now today's video is me telling you guys the why, which is very important because today's video is me telling you guys that when you create your routine, you have to ask yourself, why do I want to do this? What am I going to get from it? So for me, journaling, I talked about it a bunch of times. Reading. The reason why I said earlier that I started incorporating a slow morning routine and a slow night routine is because for the morning, it helps me wake up in a more peaceful manner, a more mindful manner, and it doesn't feel as rushed, which makes waking up earlier feel enjoyable to me. My slow night routine, even though it's the same things, it has a different intention. For nighttime, it's actually making me feel more peaceful, and because it's slow, it's putting me in a relaxed state, so it's actually easier for me to fall asleep. And that is why it's very important that I don't go on my phone an hour before bed, because going on my phone easily will suck me into social media or will easily suck me into continue watching my show. But if I put my foot down and say, all right, it's time to stop watching my show, and then I start getting into my routine, it's going to help me fall asleep better than if I just let myself continue to watch, because then I'm just going to want to keep watching more and more. I have to find that balance for myself, call myself out on it, and put my foot down when I know what is benefiting me and what is going to distract me. Okay, so now I know why I'm doing these little tasks before bed, but why am I so set on having a good sleep schedule? And just to clarify, I don't think that you have to have the exact same sleep schedule as me to have a productive day. Like, you can literally wake up at whatever time works for you. You can go to sleep at whatever time works for you, but I think it's just important to have that consistency, not only with your habits, but with your sleep. Because rest and recovery are just as much part of the process and the journey of getting to where you want to be as doing the things that you have to do, like your habits, your task, and all of those. Because if you're not sleeping well, you're probably not showing up as best as you can for yourself. And for me, fixing that schedule has really helped me be able to fall asleep much faster, because I used to struggle so much. Like, I would lay in bed at like 10 p.m. and I wouldn't fall asleep till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like, not on social media or anything, just like tossing and turning because I was so busy like worrying about everything else. But once I established that sleep schedule, despite all of those nights where I still couldn't fall asleep, I kept pushing and pushing, and then I kept trying different things, and what worked for me, what didn't work for me. But eventually I found my routine, and for me, meditating right before bed, like the last 10 minutes before I'm gonna go to sleep, meditation just really clears my mind. It puts my body in a super relaxed state, and it's literally easy for me to fall asleep. Also, the journaling, because that helps me clear my mind. Anything that's kind of bothering me, I can just write it down. Reading distracts my mind. I'm not thinking about other things. Literally all of these things are a distraction, but a good distraction for me. And so this is what helps me be able to stay consistent with a sleep schedule. And because I have a good sleep schedule, I'm able to stay consistent with these habits. Does that make sense? This is a good cycle. It's not one of those like bad cycles where you just keep going with all of the bad habits. It's a good cycle because it's full of a bunch of good tasks, good habits that actually benefit me.